JayZ isn't just signed to Roc Nation, he built it. In 2008, after stepping down as president of Def Jam, Sean Carter launched Roc Nation as a joint venture with Live Nation. His goal? Total control. Not just a label, but a full-service entertainment company that handled everything from artist management to sports, publishing, and branding. Before Roc Nation, JayZ had already spent over a decade as rap royalty. He co-founded Rockefeller Records in 1995 when no label would sign him, and dropped his debut Reasonable Doubt in '96. From there, he built a run of classic albums: The Blueprint 2001, The Black Album 2003, and American Gangster 2007, all before launching his new empire. Under Roc Nation, Jay released Magna Carta Holy Grail 2013 and 444 2017, the latter earning critical praise for its vulnerability and mature take on legacy, family, and failure. It showed a new version of Hov, not just a rapper, but a father, husband, and businessman who'd survived the industry and learned from it. JayZ didn't just sign artists, he changed what being an artist could mean. Roc Nation was never just a label, it was his way of rewriting the rules, again. In 2021, Benny the Butcher officially joined Roc Nation under a management deal, marking a major co-sign for one of the grittiest street rappers of the past decade. Hailing from Buffalo, New York, Benny came up as a key member of the Griselda Collective, alongside cousins Westside Gunn and Conway the Machine. His style was raw, vivid, and grounded in the tradition of coke rap pioneers like Raekwon and Beanie Sigel. But instead of chasing trends, Benny doubled down on boom bap beats, detailed street narratives, and grimy production from the likes of Alchemist and Hit Boy. By the time Roc Nation signed him, Benny had already made noise with tapes like Tana Talk 3 and The Plugs I Met. His 2020 album, Burden of Proof, elevated things further, blending his signature bars with broader appeal and proving he could hold his own outside the underground. Roc Nation didn't try to change his lane, they helped amplify it. With major festival slots, interviews, and bigger collaborations, Benny stayed true to his brand while reaching new listeners. In a label full of icons and polished stars, Benny brought back that raw corner energy, like Jay would have signed him back in the Reasonable Doubt days. Vic Mensa joined Roc Nation in 2015, becoming one of the label's earliest signees in the post-JayZ presidency era. A native of Chicago, Vic first made waves as a founding member of the band Kids These Days, before launching a solo career that blended rap, punk, and political commentary. His breakout moment came with the 2013 mixtape In a Tape, which showcased sharp lyricism, experimental beats, and flashes of Kanye-esque ambition. That momentum eventually led to a Roc Nation deal and a spot alongside Kanye West on Wolves, introducing Vic to a global audience. Under Roc Nation, Vic released There's a Lot Going On in 2016 and The Autobiography in 2017, projects that tackled gun violence, systemic injustice, and personal trauma with intensity. Unlike other artists on the roster, Vic leaned heavily into activism both in his lyrics and in real life, protesting at Standing Rock and speaking out on police reform. While his commercial success has been more modest than some of his label mates, Roc Nation has allowed Vic the space to experiment and evolve. From lyrical rap to punk rock hybrids, he's remained unpredictable, and for Roc Nation, that's part of the appeal. Rapsody joined Roc Nation in 2016 through a management deal, right after releasing Beauty and the Beast, a critically acclaimed EP that caught JayZ's attention. Hailing from North Carolina, she had already built a name in underground circles with her razor-sharp lyricism and collaborations with Ninth Wonder and Jamla Records. What set Rapsody apart wasn't flashy hooks or club records, it was depth. She wrote with precision, tackling identity, racism, womanhood, and legacy in ways that few MCs, male or female, dared to. Her Roc Nation debut, Layla's Wisdom, dropped in 2017 and was Grammy-nominated for Best Rap Album, putting her in the same conversation as Kendrick and Hov himself. She followed up with Eve in 2019, a concept album that honored iconic black women in every track, like Cleo, Oprah, and Nina. It was thoughtful, bold, and lyrically dense. Critics called it one of the best rap albums of the decade. Roc Nation didn't try to change her, they amplified her. Rapsody never needed cosigns to prove she belonged. But with JayZ's platform behind her, more people finally started paying attention. She's proof that you can make meaningful, poetic rap and still shake the industry. 070. Shake, born Danielle Balbuena, became one of Roc Nation's most unconventional additions when she joined under a management deal in the late 2010s. Hailing from North Bergen, New Jersey, she got her start as part of the 070 Collective, a local music and art crew. Her early tracks, emotional, genre-blurring, and delivered with a raw vocal style, stood out in an era crowded with auto-tuned mimicry. She gained wider attention after being tapped by Kanye West for guest features on Ye 2018, particularly for her haunting verse on Ghost Town, which became a fan-favorite moment. That single performance propelled her into the spotlight, earning praise for her ability to blend rap, rock, and R&B into something deeply personal and hard to pin down. Under Roc Nation management, she released her debut album, Modus Vivendi, in 2020, an atmospheric, genre-defying project that carved out her own lane in alternative hip-hop. She followed it with You Can't Kill Me in 2022, further diving into themes of identity, vulnerability, and existentialism. 070 Shake doesn't chase trends, she creates mood-driven art. With Roc Nation behind her, she continues to challenge what rap and R&B can sound like. She's not a rapper in the traditional sense, but that's exactly the point. Still watching? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. All right, let's get back into it. Brooklyn rapper HDBeenDope officially joined Roc Nation in 2022, bringing with him a decade-long grind that finally earned industry recognition. Born Daryl Thurville, he built his name off sharp lyricism, animated flows, and high-energy live shows, all without major label backing early on. Before signing with Roc Nation, HD made noise with his 2016 mixtape Peace Be the Journey and his 2019 project Broken Dreams, which caught the attention of hip-hop heads for its raw honesty and varied production. Tracks like Bird and 20K showcased a young MC with both hunger and vision, blending introspection with New York aggression. What sets HDBeenDope apart is his pen. He doesn't rely on gimmicks or trends. His music feels urgent and precise, like he has something to prove with every bar. That hunger resonated with Roc Nation, who added him to their roster in a management capacity. Since joining, he's continued to drop tracks with clever wordplay and sharp visuals, including the standout single, Mamba, an ode to Kobe Bryant's mentality. HDBeenDope isn't chasing clout, he's focused on craft. And with Roc Nation in his corner, he's finally getting the platform to scale that message without compromising his independent spirit. AP Ferg joined Roc Nation's management roster in 2021, marking a new chapter in his career after nearly a decade as one of ASAP Mob's most successful solo acts. Born Daryl Ferguson Jr., the Harlem rapper made his breakthrough in 2013 with Trap Lord, a debut album that balanced wild club energy with gritty street narratives. Ferg rose alongside ASAP Rocky, but quickly carved out his own lane. Early hits like Work, Remix, and Shaba gave him a reputation for high-energy anthems, while tracks like New Level, featuring Future, pushed him into mainstream rotation. His sound merges East Coast aggression with Southern trap production, making him one of the most unpredictable members of the mob. By the time he aligned with Roc Nation, Ferg had already released multiple successful albums and was a certified festival mainstay. The move wasn't just about music, it was also about expanding into fashion, art, and entrepreneurial ventures. Roc Nation gave him the structure to build beyond just albums. Whether he's collaborating with Missy Elliott, launching fashion partnerships, or headlining global tours, AP Ferg brings flair and ambition to everything he touches. Under Roc Nation, his creative reach continues to grow, and so does his legacy. Florida rapper Bobby Fishkale signed with Roc Nation in 2020, making him one of the label's rising street rap voices. Hailing from Quincy, a small city outside Tallahassee, Bobby built a name through vivid storytelling and a gritty Southern delivery that caught the attention of A&R scouts nationwide. Before the Roc Nation deal, he was already moving through the underground with mixtapes like Big Fish and standout freestyles that circulated on social media and mixtape blogs. His breakout moment came with Blue Cheese, a raw, no-hook track that showed off his slick flow and unfiltered lyrics. The energy felt authentic, and Roc Nation quickly positioned him as a streetwise talent with national appeal. Under Roc Nation, Bobby released Super Fishy and The Last Re-Up, tapping into both trap-heavy production and introspective moments. His songs often reference his past hustles, time behind bars, and what it means to survive in Florida's lesser-known rap scenes. Bobby Fishkale represents the new wave of Southern rap, focused, self-aware, and still deeply rooted in the grind. Roc Nation's backing gave him a bigger platform, but the hunger in his voice hasn't gone anywhere. He's still proving himself track by track. Reuben Vincent is one of the youngest and most lyrical artists signed to Roc Nation. He joined the label in 2021 through a joint partnership with Jamla Records, the imprint founded by Ninth Wonder. Born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina, Reuben carries the sound and soul of traditional East Coast hip-hop with a Southern voice and youthful confidence. He started writing rhymes as a kid and released his first mixtape at just 13. By 16, he had already caught the attention of Ninth Wonder, who mentored him through Jamla's artist development process. This foundation shows in his delivery, clear, polished, and rooted in storytelling. Reuben is heavily inspired by legends like Nas and Kendrick Lamar, and that influence comes through in the way he writes about identity, purpose, and growing up Black in America. His debut album under Roc Nation, Love Is War, dropped in early 2023. The project balances introspective verses with sharp production and features from artists like Rapsody and Reason. At just 22, Ruben Vincent is carrying the weight of real lyricism into the next generation. Roc Nation didn't just sign a rapper, they backed a writer, thinker, and future torchbearer for conscious rap. Kalan.FrFr is one of the new faces of West Coast hip-hop, blending smooth R&B hooks with melodic rap. Hailing from Compton, California, he signed to Roc Nation in 2021, marking a major step in his rise from underground buzz to national spotlight. Before the deal, Khalan had already built a strong independent following with mixtapes like 2 and Leak the Tape, which showed off his versatility, singing about love, pain, and ambition over West Coast-style beats. What makes Khalan stand out is his ability to move between rapping and crooning without losing authenticity. His music captures the vibe of LA. Laid back but driven, emotional but tough. His breakout single, Scoring, became an anthem, racking up millions of streams and radio plays. Once he joined Roc Nation, he dropped 2 for 2, a more polished but still personal follow-up that included features from Lil Durk and Stunna 4 Vegas. Kalan.FrFr is part of the new generation redefining what it means to be a rapper from the West. He's not boxed in by sound or style. With Roc Nation behind him, he's positioned to keep growing, making heartfelt music that still goes up in the club. In 2010, Rihanna officially joined Roc Nation for management, marking a major turning point in her already exploding career. By then, she had already released hits like Umbrella and Disturbia, but Roc Nation gave her more creative control and strategic backing. The label didn't just manage her music, it helped her shift into full-blown superstardom across multiple industries. While Rihanna was originally signed as an artist under Def Jam, Roc Nation took over as her management and later as her label for newer releases, like Anti in 2016. That album debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 and spawned chart toppers like Work featuring Drake. She also became a key part of the Roc Nation brand, a powerful example of someone who blends pop, R&B, and Caribbean influence into global hits. Beyond the music, Roc Nation helped her expand into business ventures like Fenty Beauty, Savage Fenty, and film work, proving their influence goes far beyond charts and tours. Although she's been musically quiet in recent years, Rihanna's place on the Roc Nation roster remains a symbol of its reach, not just in hip-hop, but across pop culture worldwide. Alicia Keys became part of Roc Nation's management roster around 2010, making her one of the most accomplished artists aligned with the company. By the time she joined, Alicia was already a Grammy magnet, known for her soulful voice, classical piano background, and chart-topping hits like Fallin', If I Ain't Got You, and No One. What Roc Nation brought to the table wasn't just music handling. It was full-spectrum support for her as a multi-hyphenate artist, activist, and entrepreneur. During her time under Roc Nation's management, Alicia launched major albums like Girl on Fire, Here, Alicia, and Keys, showing a deeper dive into her artistry, blending R&B, soul, and social commentary. She also took on larger roles in media and culture, hosting the Grammys, producing films, and launching her lifestyle brand, Keys Soul Care. Her presence and activism grew too, particularly around issues like racial justice and women's rights. Roc Nation played a key role in shaping and scaling that expanded vision. Alicia Keys isn't just one of the greatest voices of her generation. She's one of Roc Nation's most respected artists, using her platform to push music, meaning, and purpose at the same time. Christina Aguilera joined Roc Nation's management around 2020, marking a new chapter in her decades-long career. By then, she was already a pop icon, known for powerhouse vocals, early 2000s domination with hits like Genie in a Bottle, Beautiful, and Fighter, and her ability to reinvent herself across albums. With Roc Nation, the focus shifted toward helping her reclaim creative control and reposition herself in a changing music landscape. In 2022, she released Aguilera, a full-length Spanish-language album that honored her Ecuadorian heritage. It was a bold return to Latin music, following up on her 2000 Mi Refleo project, but with much deeper roots and maturity. The album was critically praised and earned her Latin Grammy nominations, signaling that Roc Nation helped Christina tap into a more global and personal direction. Beyond music, Roc Nation's support also helped relaunch her live performance presence, most notably with shows in Las Vegas and international festivals. Christina's Roc Nation era has been less about chasing charts and more about legacy, reintroducing herself to new audiences while staying true to her artistry. Even decades into her career, she's still evolving, and Roc Nation's been part of that evolution. Maeta is one of Roc Nation's rising R&B voices, joining the label around 2019. Born and raised in Indianapolis, she built early buzz with her smooth vocals and emotional songwriting, posting covers and originals online that caught the attention of industry insiders. Roc Nation signed her as part of their push to support new genre-blending talent. In 2021, she released her breakout EP Habits, executive produced by Mustard, which showcased her laid-back vocal style over modern sultry production. Tracks like Toxic and Bitch Don't Be Mad got traction on streaming platforms, helping her build a loyal following without major radio play. She followed it up with her debut album, When I Hear Your Name, in 2023, featuring collaborations with artists like Ty Dolla $ign and Lucky Day. Maeta's sound sits comfortably between classic R&B and alternative soul, personal, vulnerable, and often centered around messy relationships and self-growth. Her visuals and stage presence also reflect Roc Nation's focus on developing full-package artists. She's not a household name yet, but Roc Nation has positioned her as one of the next big things in R&B. With consistent releases and a growing fan base, Maeta is clearly just getting started. Ombre joined Roc Nation as a singer-songwriter known for her raw lyricism and unique vocal tone. Originally from New Orleans, she built her career behind the scenes, writing for big names like her, Khalan, and Chloe and Halle, before stepping into the spotlight herself. She signed with Roc Nation in the early 2020s and released her breakthrough EP Pulp in 2019, followed by 3000 Degrees in 2022, which won over fans of experimental R&B. The project pulled influences from soul, funk, and hip-hop, all wrapped in a moody atmospheric style. Standout tracks like Drake and Drive and I'm Baby featuring Vic Mensa helped her gain traction as both a vocalist and storyteller. Ombre's writing explores queerness, identity, and emotional vulnerability in a way that feels personal but universally relatable. Her voice isn't about range, it's about tone and feeling. That subtlety, combined with her songwriting experience, has made her a respected name among R&B heads and artists alike. She's not mainstream yet, but Roc Nation is clearly backing her as a long-term talent. With more music and collaborations ahead, Ombre's journey is still unfolding and worth paying attention to. Jazzy is one of Roc Nation's most versatile talents, equal parts songwriter, singer, and producer. Born and raised in Memphis, she first made waves writing for major artists like Chris Brown, Summer Walker, and even Beyoncé. But her most notable early credit, co-writing Old Town Road Remix by Lil Nas X and Billy Ray Cyrus, the record-breaking, genre-blending mega hit that dominated 2019. After years behind the scenes, Jazzy stepped into the spotlight as an artist. In 2022, she became the flagship signee for Diddy's new R&B label, Love Records, which operates under the broader Roc Nation umbrella for management and creative support. Her debut EP, Songs for Women, Free Game for dropped in 2023 and showed her range, moving between love songs, soulful ballads, and confident flexes. The writing is sharp and emotional, but the production keeps everything smooth and modern. Jazzy is openly queer, as she doesn't shy away from that in her music, often reflecting on love and heartbreak from a raw and honest perspective. Her pen is elite, her delivery effortless, and Roc Nation clearly sees long-term star power in her. She's not just writing hits anymore, she's performing them too. Kirby is one of Roc Nation's most soulful and poetic singer-songwriters. Originally from Mississippi, she first broke into the industry by writing hits for other artists. Before stepping into the spotlight herself, she penned songs for Beyoncé, Die With You, Rihanna, Ariana Grande, and Kanye West. But writing was only the beginning. Her voice and vision were too powerful to stay behind the curtain. She officially signed with Roc Nation as a solo artist and released her debut project, Sis, in 2020. The album blends old school soul with modern storytelling, with tracks like We Don't Funk and Kool-Aid that showcase her mix of charm, power, and vulnerability. It's music that feels timeless but fresh, with production that nods to the 70s while tackling issues like love, independence, and self-worth. Kirby's voice has that rich, raspy texture that immediately draws you in, and her lyrics often feel like a conversation, honest, relatable, and deeply emotional. Whether she's performing live or crafting visuals, she brings a full aesthetic to everything she does. Roc Nation backs artists who do more than just sing, they tell stories. And with Kirby, the stories always hit home. Tiara Wax signed with Roc Nation in 2021, bringing with her one of the most inventive styles in modern rap and R&B. Raised in Philadelphia, she first gained attention as a teenager freestyling under the name Dizzle Diz. But it was her 2018 project, Whack World, that truly made people stop and take notice. The album featured 15 songs, each exactly 1 minute long, paired with a surreal, colorful visual experience that felt more like an art installation than a typical music video. Since then, Whack has built a reputation for pushing boundaries. Her music blends clever wordplay with sharp humor, and she isn't afraid to get weird with her flows or her visuals. Whether she's rapping over minimalist beats or singing over warped soul loops, there's always something unexpected in her work. Songs like Dora and Only Child show how she switches moods effortlessly. One moment playful, the next painfully honest. Whack's partnership with Roc Nation signals that the label is committed to nurturing artists who innovate, not just follow trends. With her bold creativity and fearless voice, Tierra Whack continues to carve out her own lane in music, and she's just getting started. ROMderful is a multi-talented producer, singer, and instrumentalist from Birmingham, UK. He signed with Roc Nation as part of their growing interest in genre-blending, globally-minded artists. With a background in jazz guitar and a deep love for hip-hop, R&B, and electronic music, ROMderful built a strong online following through beat tapes and collaborations before getting signed. He's worked with a wide range of artists across the underground and mainstream scenes, including Dean, Rihanna J, and K Faraday, crafting warm, soulful productions that often combine lo-fi textures with smooth vocals. His 2019 debut album, Press L to Continue, introduced a signature sound full of bouncy grooves, emotional melodies, and playful energy. More than just a beat maker, ROMderful brings a sense of personality and detail to every track. Whether he's releasing solo material or producing for others, his music always carries a sense of care and musicality. His signing to Roc Nation highlights the label's interest in curating sounds from beyond just American rap and R&B, bringing in artists who push sonic boundaries from every corner of the world. ROMderful might not be a household name yet, but he's quietly becoming a go-to producer for emotionally rich and genre-defying music. Angelica Vila is a Bronx-born R&B singer signed to Roc Nation through Fat Joe's imprint. She started gaining attention through Instagram covers and local performances before Fat Joe discovered her and took her under his wing. That mentorship led to her 2019 breakout single, More in the Morning, which introduced her smooth vocals and modern take on traditional R&B storytelling. In 2020, she released her debut album, Deception Season 1, a project that blended heartbreak, confidence, and vulnerability over contemporary, moody production. Songs like Love Too Hard and Why showed her range, balancing softness with grit in a way that recalls classic 2000s R&B with a current-day edge. Angelica's voice has a raw, emotional tone that cuts through, making her stand out in a crowded R&B space. While she's still early in her mainstream career, Roc Nation's backing and Fat Joe's guidance give her a strong foundation. She represents a new generation of R&B voices coming out of New York, honest, emotional, and unfiltered. With more releases and collaborations ahead, Angelica Vila is quietly building her lane in modern R&B. Buju Banton is a legendary Jamaican reggae and dancehall artist signed to Roc Nation for management. He's not just a name on the roster, he's one of the most respected figures in Caribbean music, with a career spanning over 3 decades. Buju first broke out in the early 1990s with hits like Boom Bye Bye and Champion, becoming known for his gruff voice and high-energy delivery. As his music evolved, so did his message. In the late 90s, he shifted toward more conscious reggae, especially after converting to Rastafarianism. His 1995 album Till Shiloh marked a turning point, featuring deeper spiritual themes and gaining worldwide acclaim. After serving time in the U.S. on federal drug charges, Buju was released in 2018 and made a powerful return with the album Upside Down 2020, which included collaborations with artists like John Legend and Pharrell. The project was distributed through Roc Nation, marking a new chapter in his global reach. Buju Banton isn't just a reggae icon. He's a symbol of growth, redemption, and cultural pride. His partnership with Roc Nation helps amplify Caribbean voices on a bigger stage. Vory is one of the newer names on the Roc Nation, but he's already made a big impression. Originally from Louisville, Kentucky, Vory first gained attention for his songwriting. He helped pen tracks for major artists like Drake and Beyonce before stepping fully into the spotlight as a solo act. His big breakout came when he worked closely with Kanye West on Donda in 2021, appearing on multiple tracks and earning praise for his melodic, emotional delivery. That exposure introduced him to a wider audience, and it showed that Vory wasn't just behind the scenes anymore. In 2022, he dropped Lost Souls, his debut album under Roc Nation. It featured guest appearances from Kanye, Nav, and Blue, and cemented his place as one of the label's rising stars. His music blends moody R&B with introspective rap, often exploring topics like pain, betrayal, and ambition. Vory represents the new wave of Roc Nation talent, genre fluid, emotionally raw, and quietly powerful. He may not have mainstream fame yet, but his catalog and collaborations prove he's well on his way. If you enjoyed this, drop a like and hit subscribe. We've got more label deep dives, artist timelines, and hip-hop history coming your way. See you in the next one.